So the museological experiments I present in this talk are within a research framework of computational museology. This scaffold is designed to empower cultural organizations to connect diverse forms of culture and materiality, ranging from objects and knowledge systems to modes of representation and participation. The work in my laboratory is to unite machine intelligence with data curation, ontology with visualization, and communities of publics and practitioners with embodied interaction through immersive interfaces. This research builds on 25 years of work designing and building interactive frameworks for public engagement with cultural heritage, initially at Museum Victoria, where we started to build these large-scale systems and experiences for mass public. I then started to work with universities to help sustain this kind of research and its infrastructure at the forefront of computer graphics. I co-established together with Jeffrey Shaw the Applied Laboratory for Interactive Visualization and Embodiment at the Science Park in Hong Kong with 8 large-scale systems, and then returned to Australia to build the Expanded Perception and Interaction Centre at UNSW. So just so you know what you're looking at here, on the right-hand side of your screen is a 7-meter diameter panorama. It's comprised of 56 projectors with a 29 computer cluster. So for reference, this is 60 times the resolution of your average head-mounted display. It's at the edge of human visual acuity and was created to solve visualization problems for complexity and big data in the humanities and the sciences. The Visualization Research Center in Hong Kong is our main collaborating laboratory, where we run a joint program in future cinema systems. And in Switzerland, we've built 12 large-scale systems that offer us multi-sensory engagement, emphasizing human-to-human as well as human-to-machine interaction, giving us powerful ways to reformulate narrative in a digital context. And in this latest wave of what is often called future cinema, we created a spin-out company, Immersive Unlimited Limited, shown here at the Hong Kong airport. It's kind of like a luxury brand of immersive VR, and we've created a series of touring LED 360-degree 3D platforms emphasizing rich content, deep immersion, and socially engaged systems. These are the broad themes in my speech today. I'll include old and new work, and given this long list, I will get on with it. Cultural imaginaries. The dome of the former Prince of Wales Museum, or CSMVS, was adopted as the epicenter of an artistic exploration that specifically focuses on the ceiling architectures of Mumbai's heritage and contemporary buildings and transforms them into an urban, celestial imaginary. Mumbai's architectural heritage is unrivaled in India. The city has one of the largest representations of grand neo-Gothic style architecture, numerous examples of Indo-Saracenic architecture, and one of the world's largest number of Art Deco buildings of any city in the world. We shot 168 gigapixel images throughout the city. This is the Bao Darjilad Museum, but also contemporary buildings such as Terminal 2, the new Mumbai airport. We took the dome from the lab with a 12,000 pixel spring line and put it under the full dome of the museum. It allowed 2,000 people a day to rediscover their city with fresh eyes, and open to all, it gave new perspectives on the many spaces that are socially exclusive despite their public heritage status. The work uses a computer vision algorithm that randomly selects any 2 image pairs from the 168 and creates a unique transition between them. So in effect, you can lie there all day and never see the same thing twice. The perceived hemispheric curvature of domes has been rendered architecturally by many cultures throughout the world and used to enfold the most sacred of environments, from Buddhist stupas and Jain temples to Islamic mosques and Christian cathedrals. As McConville reminds us, dome constructions are places of ritual, communion, and transcendence. Early developments of dome projection theatres emerged from attempts to stimulate the spherical gestalt of the human visual field and were designed to exploit and extend sensory perception. And it's the psychological, sensorial, perceptual, and cognitive qualities of immersion that has driven so many museums in the direction of virtual reality today. In collaboration with Enugu elders and the National Museum of Australia, we created 2 dome experiences, Travelling Kankarangulpa, the songline of the Seven Sisters. This songline portrays one of the most defining and predominant meta-narratives chronicled in ancient mainland Australia, but never told in the public domain until this exhibition, a traumatic history of colonial contact made the custodians extremely wary of bringing this songline into the public domain and disclosing sacred knowledge. But the songline was in jeopardy. So this project was 7 years in the making from the day the elders came to the museum to help bring this songline back into the public domain. And the dome was ultimately chosen by the artist out of a range of technologies to simultaneously express the sphere of the world around us, the sky above and the ground below, enveloping viewers as they lie supine as his creation beings travel, leaving land formations in their wake, the anthill and the constellation of Pleiades and Orion in the southern night sky. The first work involved photogrammetry of a sacred cave which has never been photographed before, time-lapse photography, drone-based panoramas and gigapixel imaging, as well as ambisonics, allowing viewers intimate views of the stories contained within its sandstone folds. The second dome journey immerses visitors in a series of projected artworks made by the custodians. These truss-grass jumpy figures representing the Seven Sisters are seen here being sung off the land by their creators to their new home at the National Museum. Here we created photogrammetric models, and images for the full dome were painted by the elders and the Matu artists. This led to a complex set of interpretations and a series of animated full dome sequences where the main protagonists are represented, including the evil Wadi Nero that we see as a snake here. So this is a shot from the opening of this exhibition, and what's important about it is this lengthy 7-year negotiation process which led to a watershed in national curatorial relations and with Indigenous people in Australia. It's also an important collaboration with the university sector, where an infrastructure grant that I wrote for museums enabled the dome and ultimately the work. And I believe that it's the role of laboratories like mine to be able to help support innovation inside the GLAM sector through these infrastructure projects. The project won numerous awards. It's currently touring all over the world. It was in the UK and Berlin at the Humboldt Forum in Delhi in Finland, and will open this month at the National Museum in China. Iconoclasm, looting, warfare that you mentioned, Diego, natural disasters and not so natural disasters of mass tourism and climatic catastrophe act on cultural heritage with increasing devastation, and the digital remains the only mode of visitation in an era characterized by heritage at risk. We're now at the edge of the Gobi Desert in China at the Donghuang Caves at the nexus of the Silk Road. This World Heritage Site has 492 caves carved into this escarpment. Inside are 45,000 square meters of painted frescoes and over 2,000 stucco statues. crafted by Buddhist monks over a period of 1,000 years. This sublime art treasury is like nothing else in the Chinese Buddhist world. Most are permanently closed to the public to ensure preservation, and the digital is the only mode of visitation. And an enormous preservation effort underway with 60 full-time photographers takes 3 months to image a single cave. The Pure Land projects were designed to activate the kinesthetic spatial responses of viewers and give us important insights into interfaces in the museological domain. Pure Land AR was originally conceived for Art Basel in Hong Kong. We printed the wireframe from the laser scan on the walls of an exhibition booth at 1:1 scale. And then visitors are walking around inside that cave using this tablet like a window on that world, spatial world. It has 3 noteworthy qualities: the way it harnesses socialization around a single screen. Museums are at the core of socialization. It's not about giving everybody their own device, it's how you harness this collective activity. Interfaces for all generations, young kids, middle-aged ladies, grandmother and grandchild. Grandmother abandons grandchild and takes off with this screen, so non-ages systems, also very important. The third most noteworthy quality here is the wife. She takes the iPad from her handbag and she films her husband experience as if they were really there. It was reformed as an interactive experience for the full dome at the World Economic Forum, and again here in 360 3D. In fact, a single data set for 5 completely different types of installations, and it's been seen by millions of people worldwide. And it's this malleability of digital data that is its intrinsic quality. Digital twins. Marionettes by the renowned Dadaist artist Sophie Taeuber-Arp were used in this next work. They were created for the 1918 production of the play King Stag. The play was a humorous take on psychoanalysis, and these puppets are a key collection for the Museum for Gestaltung in Zurich. The museum published the play for the first time to coincide with our exhibition there, Museum of the Future 17 Digital Experiment. We created photogrammetric models and rigged them for real-time animation, and then visitors restaged the play, endowed with geometric bodies and mask-like faces designed to draw out these highly strung characters. They play these prancing, dancing figures and reflecting the tensions of the age in which the play was written. In animating the avant-garde, the hands of virtual puppeteers are used to define the script between marionettes. The human body, if you like, is used as the interface where the puppets themselves are given agency in real time, reenacting a gestural language. The scene echoes a lost historic performance, weaving a narrative tapestry that ties past and present into a hypnotic interplay with these virtual doppelgangers. Double Truth is a circumambulatory system for a series of photogrammetric models of significant objects from Bihar Museum in Patna, spanning Jain, Hindu, and Buddhist traditions. Each is accompanied by curated ethnographic music recordings coming from between the 30s and the 70s. And in this human-scale viewing platform, each of the 19 sculptures is revealed in a dynamic temporal sequence. The reverse of the platform, meanwhile, reveals unexpected materialities and augmentations. Icons melt, fragment, and refold in a series of computer graphic transformations and parametric visualizations, a meditation on the 2 truths from Mahayana Buddhism of the mundane and the absolute. These digital twins are technically in technologically empowered artifacts that open new avenues of inquiry. The geometries of the digital transcend the originating visible and material properties, its sculpture as both noun and verb. We live in a world where the tools for searching in archives remain rooted in archival conventions of grammatocentrism, where expert knowledge is the key to entry. In a world of cultural big data, we need to design new strategies for public engagement. Jazz Luminaries uses EPFL's seminal Montreux Jazz digitization project and Memory of the World archive, and it's based on the constellation of jazz greats within this archive. The installation's cuts, remixes, and replays 5,400 artists and 13,000 videos from a total archive of 11,000 hours of video. The neural net-like image that you see here is based on the social network of the artist, so each artist is a node, and the clustering is based on the number of times one artist played with another artist. So some people in this room can probably guess who's at the very center of this dense network, and since we don't have time, I'll tell you, B.B. King. Visitors lie under the dome and they use a spherical interface to navigate inside this constellation, emulating the hemisphere in which the full dome in which it is staged. The search paradigm is akin to tuning a radio. It's searching by listening, and it circumvents the lack of public knowledge into who actually the jazz greats are. It's hearing what you like that drives the design to unfold in 3 layers: samples, all songs, full song.
Sail on, my little honeybee, sail on.
So it's very 1970s kind of retro graphics. Yeah, it's all archival material. We don't do anything with it in terms of editing. So in this multidisciplinary project, Narratives from the Long Tail, we've developed interactive visualization frameworks for more than 200,000 hours of archival video from 4 major collections in Europe, including the Olympics collection, all of Swiss TV, and the Eye Museum with the Mutoscope and Biograph collection, the oldest film archive in the world with the oldest films. Machine learning and computer vision are used to create narrative coherence across the spatial, temporal, social, affective, and aesthetic vectors inside these massive archives. This is the Swiss TV archive, 120,000 hours, where machine learning is used to extract geospatial and thematic material in an archive that has no metadata. Analysis of transcripts alone yielded 72,000 unique locations. These were geolocated on a navigable topological map of Switzerland. The automated speech-to-text transcriptions and speaker diarization was then applied to segment the audio into speaker-specific utterances. This model returns entities classified as people, location, and organizations, and an additional layer of semantics was introduced through the integration of this thematics based again on transcript content. So semantic enrichment supports more meaningful modes of navigation and exploration and aligns with the project's broader aim of enabling access, scalable access to large and complex archives. Posing at the Olympics enables the exploration of hundreds of thousands of athletes' poses extracted from IOC footage through pose-based query interfaces. The data set comprises of 44,000 hours of broadcast footage. Our prototype extracts nearly 800,000 poses, and the focus here lies in producing discrete indexable entities, individual poses that can function as a new entry point into the collection. Surrounding the users, the grandstands are populated with all of these virtual characters. And in this demo that you can see here on the iPad, a user can strike a figure, and then the system retrieves all the corresponding videos and immediately conveys that a single pose produces a whole wide variety of sports and gives us this divergence from an embodied perspective. Hong Kong is an extraordinary reservoir of intangible cultural heritage, primarily of Hakka people and including some of the most prominent martial artists in the world. This living heritage made internationally so famous by Jackie Chan, Gordon Liu, and Hong Kong cinema, it's now in danger of becoming lost. And we've been working with 33 elite Kung Fu masters since 2012, so 13 years. We've developed about 75% of the archive, and this is a living archive of 4D typology based on extensive motion capture, host of green screen and high-speed video methods, concurrently exploring empty hand and weapon sequences. So we've had 14 exhibitions worldwide, and I'm only showing a fraction of this project, but it's to give you a different modality of understanding. Six-sided rear projected system, you can walk around and view the masters from any point of view at 1-to-1 scale. It's an interactive application where the various Kung Fu moves are reanalyzed as kind of motion over time analytics. This is speed on the body at any moment in time, a typical particle simulation. And in this pose matching installation, visitors are invited to reenact classic Kung Fu moves. The way for us to reread mocap's hidden traces is in fact to perform or reenact the gesture on display. We describe this as corporeal, gestural, haptic writing that recognizes motion capture as a continuous topological model which allows for the easier retainment of the effective qualities of movement. Flowing on to generative AI, the Geneva Public Portal to Anticipation is an initiative to engage global publics with emerging science based on the Science Breakthrough Radar, compiled by 2,100 leading scientists globally. It has been, up until a couple of weeks ago, a key installation for the Swiss Pavilion at the World Expo in Osaka for 6 months. This is the radar. It contains 65,000 words, 5 scientific platforms, 29 topics, and 116 subfields. And it was the challenge to bring this esoteric data set into the public domain. It was housed at the Swiss Pavilion. The expo got 24 million visitors. The Swiss Pavilion got 1 million visitors. And the data from the radar was engineered through large language models as the basis of a prompt engineering process, which combined it with a series of parameters that participants entered through touch screens, generating personalized images and stories. The portal harnessed nearly 800,000 users to create visions of the future located at 5, 10, and 25-year time horizons. They created and curated nearly 3 million stories and images, crafting futures by their own choices. Rich with emotion and diverse more than human narratives, the portal experience is inclusive, thought-provoking, visually rich, and often wildly entertaining as generative AI can be. So this is how you create. There are 5 touch screens. You have to choose these scientific topics which you know little about. You can choose human or non-human, very important. The time frame in which you want to create your image of the future, the domain you want to apply it to, the emotional state that you associate with the future, and the culture that you identify with. And in the public arena, these speculative futures offer civic empowerment, creative agency, cultural dialogue, and educational value. For the public, emotions linked to the future must necessarily include anger, fear, and sadness. Here's an example of a typical return, the story and the image. Alyosha of the Lunar Gardens, eco-regeneration and geoengineering combined with the orbital environment. Couldn't get more sci-fi than that. Time frame, 25 years. The entity is non-human. The domain is science. The emotion is sadness. And in this case, the country is a Russian Federation. We don't have time to go into the stories, but if you're more interested, they are wonderful. There's also an interface for curating across the vast data set to allow public to investigate relationships across all of the topics within the data set. Speculative futures are narratives, artworks, or experiences designed to inspire imagination and provoke discussion about how the world might evolve. They serve as creative invitations to collectively question, critique, and envision alternatives to current social trajectories, empowering communities to engage actively in shaping these possible futures. We track every single touch point on the touch table, and therefore we're able to correlate all of the data. So 800,000 users, this is what the interface looks like. We don't have time to go into it too much, but we also did a whole series, 4,000 qualitative responses across 13 data points, which was a kind of explicit response. And just to give you a few of the things that we are looking for, or rather JESDA is also looking for, does the portal change your outlook regarding your own future? Does the portal stimulate you to take an active role in shaping the future? These are all very important feedback for such a work. And in this last section, I want to underscore that exhibitions must evolve in dialogue with scientific innovation and societal challenges, engaging visionary perspectives on our contemporaneity. In participation with diverse communities, we attempt to blend experimental curatorship and contemporary aesthetics with open science, digital humanism, and emerging technologies. And we've been undertaking some of this work at EPFL pavilions, located in this beautiful Kengo Kumar building at the center of the campus. A few of these previous exhibitions include Nature of Robotics, an expanded field, Lighten Up on Biology and Time, which opened at MIT last week, MIT Museum, that is. Cyber-physical architecture in real time, Musica ex machina, machines thinking musically, the whole history of algorithms in music from across time and space to the present day, Cosmos archaeology, explorations in time and space, about to close at the National Museum of China, its third show in China to date, with 2 more planned. Here it was a major collaboration with our laboratory in scientific visualization that we do a lot of, the largest known data set of the universe in 27 orders of magnitude. And deepfakes art in its double, which really brings us full circle in this theme of computational museology. And I'm pleased to say the book, Deepfakes, a Critical Lexicon of Digital Museology, together with my colleague Lily Hibbard, will be published by Routledge later this year, fully open access, 17th of November. Thank you very much.